Hello, everyone. I guess I'll do the intro.
Oh, that's right.
That's okay. I totally got this. Off to a perfect start. I'm loving it.
Collaborative as heck.
So I guess we each have to do a section of it then.
Okay.
Welcome to Greatest Guardians Gaming Network.
Hey.
My name is Sky, and I'm really excited to be joined by these lovely people for a bit of an experiment. If you are seeing this and you're not one of the people currently in this recording, then that means we felt good enough about it to release it.
That means the experiment was a success.
Yay! I am hopeful that it will be. So
We're going in optimistic, future selves.
yes. So, as you may have noticed, our stream is, or our layout here is a little different than usual because we are playing a very different kind of system. We are going to be journeying together through the system Wanderhome, a tabletop RPG by J Dragon. Big thanks to them. Their work is amazing, and if you don't have the Wanderhome book or PDF, you should go check it out because it is just by itself gorgeous, and absolutely beautiful, and a real labor of love. And so all props to them. PossumCreekGames.io.
Indeed.
Kind of drop that there. So
Yeah.
big thanks to them. Yeah, go ahead, Emma.
No, Sky sent out that PDF and it's beautiful. Like
The
Yeah.
artwork I would frame and
Yeah.
make a gallery wall.
It's gorgeous.
It's so gorgeous.
Yeah, it is really a beautifully crafted product, as well as what I feel just a very beautiful system that has a lot of differences to the kind of stuff that is normally on this network. So part of today's session is going to be building characters and explaining the world and the rules of the system, especially as we are all new to it. I've been living with this system for a while, but this is the first time I've led other people through it because you can also play solo with this. So it's an interesting system that we'll get the chance to talk a little bit more about. But I guess introductions are in order. Emma, how about you?
Hi, I'm Emma. I use she, her pronouns, and I am normally the game master. I'm not the game master today. I'm gonna be playing the Fool.
The Fool, a character who has your character even been named yet?
No.
Oh, that's great. Cool.
excited.
So I guess we'll take it over then to Michaela. Go ahead.
All right. Yes, hello, I'm Michaela. I also use she, her pronouns. I don't actually have a Minnesotan accent.
What?
The magic is gone. No, I'm just kidding.
So here I am.
Immersion destroyed.
This is like a side quest, okay? So I'm super jazzed to play this. I read through the playbooks and pretty much immediately decided that I was going to be a shepherd. And I'm really excited to just have this peaceful journey with you guys.
Very cool.
Let's do it.
Yeah, and as mentioned, I'm Sky. I am going to be playing the dancer today, a skill that I do not happen to have in real life.
It's not what matters here.
And yeah, I mean, this is a fantasy make-believe game, and so I chose something that isn't one of my real life things I can do. So with any skill whatsoever. But I'm really excited. I use he, they pronouns, and let's get started. So for those of you unfamiliar or just becoming familiar with this system, Wanderhome is a dice-free, game master free, but also not system where that is focused on collaborative storytelling and role playing, pretty much to exclusion. There is no combat in this system. There is very little left to chance. And there is a heavy focus on the collaborative nature of the storytelling. It is set in a world that I'm not 100% sure how to pronounce, so we're going with the Hæth. Haeth. I guess Hæth is also possible if we want to go Old English, but
That's funny. I read it as Hæth.
Hæth, yeah, I guess you
I
can
did.
kind of
That's how
read
I
it
read it.
however you want to. How are we going to go with it then? Do we want to go with Hæth, Hæth?
I'm down for any pronunciation, but this place feels like it's gonna be warm and cozy and a nice little retreat from the violence of the real world, and so my heart says hearth.
Mm.
So that's
Yeah, there
so
is no
whatever
R
you
in there,
decide.
but
I know. Whatever you decide.
Hæth.
It's also backward. The E and the A are backwards.
Yeah,
so,
they're a ligature together.
yeah.
So
So half it is.
Okay, I like that.
I'd like to go with.
yeah, we'll go Old English on this one.
Let's
We'll
do
go
it.
with Hæth. Anyone who actually speaks Old English, if I got that wrong, my apologies. I think I have it right, but regardless,
Don't at us.
don't add us. Don't add us in Old English. All right. In the Hæth, it is a. I'm reading a little bit verbatim, but I'm just going to kind of be summarizing here for the most part. The Hæth is a land of animal folk. The animals in this world take the form of kind of anthropomorphic characters. Generally, mostly mammals, birds, and reptiles. Insects are the wildlife of this world, as our shepherd character is going to be leading us through for the most part here. Meat eaters and herbivores exist, and we just all kind of conveniently ignore this, unlike Zootopia. It is full of insectoid wildlife and pets and creatures like stag beetles, moths carrying messages and letters to far off places, bumblebee cows essentially, which is or sheep, which is amazing. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. It has a warm and cozy culture of hospitality. People are fundamentally good in this world. It is a beautiful world, the beauty of which is mostly our responsibility to create. And with that in mind, the deep lore does exist. But the main thing to know is that this is a land that was recently caught up in a destructive war, but that is gone. There is no more violence in this place, period. It is in the background. It is in the past. It is a place that is free from those constraints. Our goal here is to tell the story of a journey. This journey does not need to be, does not need to have continuity. It can exist freely and in small episodes. It does not have to be day to day. We can skip months, we can skip seasons. It is driven by a 5-season calendar that we can get into much later, but we will be starting in the season of spring, which is called Leap in this calendar. The season of Leap and the month of Till Soil. The beginning of spring, the first thaw has just come, and the ground is now snow-free for the first time in a while. We are going to be traveling together and asking questions, and essentially our goal is to find the beauty in this world, create that beauty through our interactions and the questions we ask of each other. And part of that comes to creating our characters, which is generally done collaboratively at the table. We've already mentioned our playbooks. We don't have classes. They are called playbooks. They function sort of like classes, but they are more of like a lens through which to view this world, and a lens through which to view your own character. So I think I'm going to start just as an example. I am playing a class called the Dancer, or a playbook called the Dancer. Each playbook comes with a short descriptive paragraph, and I will read mine so that you get an idea of what the Dancer is like. Your inner fire is a song in your heart, not a voice in your head. The world will not quiet you. You are alive. Your care is intense, vocal, and full of light. And the first thing that it asks you to choose is a name and some pronouns. I have already done this. My character's name will be Kova, Kova, and they will use they them pronouns. How about Emma? Let's just go in the same order here. What playbook have you chosen, and what is its descriptor?
I have chosen the Fool. And the Fool has the descriptor of life is an adventure, and there's never shame in learning new things. You are alive. Your care is silly, naive, and more profound than most expect. Choose a name and some pronouns.
Okay. What are you feeling? Which one's speaking to you at the moment?
I don't have a name. I'm horrible at making up names, so any help would be appreciated. But
No worries.
something whimsical, something silly, but also soft.
Are you looking for a full name or a single moniker?
I think a single name.
Okay, I think that's kind of what I'm down for too. So we can just keep that as a theme here. So, okay, things that come to mind: whisper, bubbles, bubble. No, throwing bubble away.
I like Whisper and Bubbles so far. Now I'm thinking of objects. So objects that are fun and interesting, like
Pinwheel?
Pinwheel. That I think that's it. I think that's the
Oh
one.
my gosh, I love it!
Okay.
I love that. Yeah.
Pinwheel.
Let's go with
Kova.
pinwheel.
Pinwheel. Okay. Thank
you
you for the
feeling-
suggestions, Michaela, as well.
Yes.
Yeah, those are lovely. I'm liking Whisper a lot. You might want to
Yeah.
you might want to hold on to it. I don't know. We'll see when we get to yours.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
Are you drawn to a certain set of pronouns for your character?
Pinwheel, I think. She, they.
She, they. Sounds good. All right. And we'll get to our species in a moment. That is the next step in character creation. And Michaela, you are playing the shepherd. Could you describe what the shepherd does?
I would love to. So the shepherd, herds of chubby bumblebees can be found amongst the Hæth, and tending to those flocks is simple, honest work. You are alive, your care is measureless, watchful, and gentle. Choose a name and some pronouns. So I will say that I'm really feeling, I don't know what's up with this. I get so attached to characters immediately. So she's obviously lived a long, she's older, and she is pretty chill. That's all I'll say so far. She's pretty chill.
Okay.
But beyond that, I don't know. I feel like something really relaxed, something indicative of a relaxed nature. But beyond that, I have no requirements. She, her pronouns.
I don't know why, but the first one that came to mind was Beatrice.
Beatrice?
I do realize that that's not what the intention was, but I see it. Beatrice is one. I'm trying to think of like more names that are more. If you have any, Sky, go ahead.
You go with Mary. You could go with.
Oof, that's my mom's name.
Okay. I shortened my grandmother's name actually for this.
Oh my god, my grandmother's name was Marian. Was that your grandmother's name?
Mariana. So I could go with my other grandmother's name, Alice.
Alice is cute.
Yeah, I really like Alice, actually.
That's nice.
Okay. Yeah.
That feels very, very down to earth. I like that. Alice,
Okay,
it is.
we'll go with Alice.
Cool.
All right. So we have Kova, Pinwheel, and Alice.
They, them, she, them, and she, her.
Mm-hmm.
correct?
Mm-hmm. Is there an animal that is speaking to you in this moment? We do generally avoid insects as they have been picked as the livestock of this world. But mammals, birds, reptiles, amphibians, I guess. Amphibia is a show. We do not own the copyright to. A very good one. That's a free recommendation for you. And
Don't sue us.
please don't sue us, Disney. But there is an animal that did speak to me. There are options on your sheet, and they give specific animals, and then they also give types of animals. The animals types that were given here were a lively animal or a hopeful animal. I was thinking for the dancer, a limber animal, and so my mind went to a cat. And so I decided to pick my favorite large feline, which is the caracal.
Yep.
Nice.
The caracal, if you are unfamiliar, it is an African deserty savanna-y cat. It's the one with the big flappy ears with the like really long black ear tufts. So yeah, it's Floppa City over here for Kova. How about Emma or Michaela? Is there an animal speaking to you in this moment?
Mm-hmm.
Go for
Go
it.
ahead, Emma.
So, for whatever reason, my brain was like marsupial.
Ooh.
And then I pulled up a list of marsupials, and the first one on the list, opossum. I think pinwheel is an opossum.
That's great.
Pinwheel
Okay.
is an opossum. Nailed it.
Yeah, that's great. Good. And Michaela.
Yeah, so on my list, suggestions included sheepdog, and I know that fits almost too well on the herding aspect, but I think it's gonna fall together really nicely. Just long-haired, fluffy sheepdog.
All right. Very cool.
Could you repeat yours again, Sky?
Caracal.
That's right.
Caracal. Caracal.
Cool.
Okay. And this is where all of our playbooks diverge. Our goals for our playbook, some of us are requested to keep some of this information to ourselves. If it asks you for, like, for example, on my playbook, it says to choose 3 dances you will gladly dance and 1 you'll never dance again. I can choose whether or not to share that last one. And I believe I will be choosing to keep that one to myself. But there are some character points on each person's playbook after the animal on its first page. For the dancer, those points are choose 2 you are and 2 you wish you were better at being. The 2 that I've picked that Kova are that they are hopeful and generous. And the 2 that they wish they're better at being are focused and charismatic. Let's go to Michaela this time. What does your playbook ask you to choose on the front page?
Okay, so choose 2 you still are these days, and 2 you're just not anymore.
Okay.
So I decided to say that these days I am maternal and reliable. I'm no longer hurried or loud.
Okay. Very good. And Emma?
For me, it says choose 2 you are, and 2 you're worried you're actually not.
Ooh.
Which is like, whoa, okay.
Just a note for anyone listening in.
Some of these are intense.
This system gets really deep sometimes.
I've already had 3 quarter-life crises in the time we've read this, so it's fine.
But yeah, it does kind of force you to confront some things. Not necessarily about yourself, but just kind of about the nature of people.
Yes.
Yeah, and the nature of life. So
it's not even my own traumas, but
yeah, you're making these traumas for yourself. You're handcrafting these. But Emma, how about yours?
So my choices, may I read the choices out?
Yes, please do.
Lovable, funny, brave, popular, useful, talented, deep, a man, a woman.
There is a lot there.
What?
There's a lot to unpack here.
There
At
are
first,
yeah.
So
There are several many layered things happening here.
yeah.
I do want to also speak to because we got some queer folk here
Yeah.
and many
Some?
queer folk who worked on this system.
Yeah.
It comes through. It comes through, and I love it.
Mhm.
Yes, it does. The system can also be, but does not have to be. It's there on one of the pages, a place for queer reflection,
Yeah.
and experimentation and understanding, and that is one of the things that I find really beautiful about this system. But you may choose to take or not to take that, so feel free. Go ahead.
So I think she's certain that she's certain in her gender identity, but it's not one that she would pick. She is certain that she is lovable. She knows that she's lovable. And she knows that she is talented. And she's not going to tell you the other two that she's choosing.
I like that.
Yeah.
Good. Okay.
That is okay, right?
Yes, that is.
Okay.
If there is something that you choose not to share, that is fine. It can come up. It does not have to. It can be something you leave for discovery, for through the journey, for however long it may last. You can carry it with you as heavily as you wish. And then also there are some really pointed questions, and we'll get into the journeying tools soon after we're done with our characters, to kind of frame how we're going to face our first part of our journey. But there are tools for safety built into this system, and that is one of them, is choosing not to share. So, yep. All right.
Cool.
Well, good points. Moving forward, though, you are then asked to describe your look. And so Kova's look, they have a long cloak covered in glowing fungi. They have a stylized mask. That is all that it says in the playbook. But I'll choose to have their mask look like a wood carving of a fox painted in a kind of amber gold sort of swirling pattern on the mask. And then the last one that I've picked is sunset shade robes. I think that they will have multiple outfits that they're going to be using to speak through their song and dance.
That seems very fitting. I like that.
How about Emma?
Choose 3 to 4 to describe my look. I am going to choose, firstly, garishly purple pants.
Yeah.
Second, a pet ant, whose name I will decide shortly.
An ant. Oh.
A pet ant.
That's cute.
A flamboyant hat. And a polka dot bindle. So I'm assuming that's like the thing you carry over your shoulder.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That is
Cute.
very good.
Somebody needed a spindle.
Yes.
Yes, very good. I'm glad. All right. How about Alice? What is her look?
So Alice is a Shetland sheepdog. So she has the kind of rust colored, the browns, and then white. Not super well kempt, not perfectly brushed, but also not mangy. You know, respectable, well kept, not overly done. Wearing some overalls, patchwork overalls, no shoes, probably like a bandana, just a basic bandana, nothing fancy, just a little something to jazz it up. And she also has like a long pipe hanging and a walking stick, as well as like a couple of like a whistle and like a little flute, kind of some small accoutrement hanging off of her kind of that loop thing that's on the overalls. There's a loop here, and then there's that buttonhole here for the pocket watch. She's got things kind of hanging off. Practical thing. This seems like a very practical woman.
Awesome. Cool. Okay. The rest of your playbook gets a little bit deeper. The last page talks about things that you can always do, and then talks about progression in your character's playbook throughout the seasons during each holiday. We will likely not be getting to a holiday tonight, but we will talk about some of the things that you can always do. I feel like this is a good point to draw the conversation after we get into the really deep stuff. So I guess I will start, and we can go section by section, or we can go character by character. How are we feeling? We want to do this.
I like section by section.
I would agree. Yeah.
All right.
I like
Sounds
to get
good.
a taste. Yeah.
Then I'll begin. The Dancer's Playbook asks you to choose one that you teach anyone who wants to learn, and one that you'll only ever dance to alone, and to tell the table about them. The song that I will teach anyone who wants to learn, I will share. And that is an old song, a tradition from a life that I've left behind. Kova comes from a very far land from where they have found themselves now, and a culture and tradition that they are no longer a part of, and a language that is something that they have had to abandon as it no longer serves them use. So one of the things that they will teach is an old song that tells stories in that language, and will dance out the appropriate moves to tell the story. And the dance that they will dance to alone, I will leave for another time.
Like it.
Mm-hmm.
Me too. I look forward to learning more about that.
Agreed.
Is there someone who wants to take it from there?
I'll go because it's really cute and I'm very excited about it. Next up on the Shepherd's Playbook sections here is you have a herd of bumbles. Choose up to 5 bugs you can always pick out from the crowd. So I've selected 4. I will gladly tell you about them. There are so many options though, and they're all adorable in their own way. So here's what I've chosen. The youngest bumble, who is constantly underfoot. They are cheerful and or raucous. I also chose the bumble born with 2 heads under the full moon. They are imaginative and or witchy.
If I may, is
Yes.
one head imaginative and the other is
Other
witchy?
head witchy, and together they're the perfect combination.
I like that. That's fun.
The most anxious bumble, who always needs reassurance. They are lost and or nervous. That's actually me, IRL. This is actually okay. I'm gonna move on because I have like a whole commentary and I can't get into it. So the bumble who is remarkable in no particular way, but they're still your favorite. They are chill and or quiet.
I like these. These are great.
TLDR on my emotional introspective commentary is I would love to play through this solo and just have the bumbles be different parts of myself that I'd like to confront and comfort and love and show care to. But it's fine.
Hey, you've always got time for it. It will be here. It'll be here for you. Very good. Thank you so much, Michaela.
Thank you for. Oh, I'm just so jazzed.
Yeah,
This is quite fun.
Thank you, Emma. How about you?
Okay. Choose 2 that are true about you and 1 that everyone assumes is true.
That's good to know.
Yeah. So I'm gonna say all of them, but not tell you which is which.
Okay, I like it.
Two truths and an assumption.
Yes. You don't know a lot about the world. The place you are from is a farm or a tower. You have a surprising secret talent. The place you are from is a workshop or a port. You had a really upsetting childhood that you hate talking about. The place you are from is a waste or a labyrinth. So I feel like it's probably fairly easy to guess which one is true, but rather than just put it out in the open, I think it would be more fun to kind of explore each of those in game. Yeah. Yeah.
These are fun.
Yeah, that is Pinwheel, the opossum's 2 truths and an assumption.
The opossum in a loud hat and some purple pants.
Yeah, we are not a camouflaged team.
And the ant's name.
Oh, very important. Yes.
Her pet ant's name is Kokomo.
Oh.
Kokomo.
That's where you want to go. All right. With that, then each of us has a section to ask one to the left and one to the right.
Yes.
We pick one question to ask each of us. And so I will begin with, let's go with Alice. Why do I call you my best friend?
Well, darling, I reckon you call me your best friend because you know I'll always be right here for you anytime you need to swing on by.
Very good. And we found the character voice.
There you go.
There it is.
Slow and steady. It's gotta be Southern.
Very good. Well, I do have a character voice for Kova, so I guess I'll ask the next one in character.
Yes.
Pinwheel, why did I come with you when we left home?
Oh, sweetheart. What do you mean? Of course you came with me because you just wanted to explore. You wanted to see the world. You wanted to know more about what's just going on in the great, wondrous world.
Very good. I like
You
it. Thank
sound
you.
like a pinwheel.
Yeah. You sound like a pinwheel. Yeah, that's for sure. You do.
I did not mean how that sounded like when I said it out loud.
Oh, no.
I mean, your character is your
pinwheel. You sound like a pinwheel because you're a pin. Yes, I got you. You're good.
Who'd like to take it from there?
I'll go.
Okay, go for it.
Okay, this is directed at... I think I'll go with Alice. Oh, Alice, why are you so patient with me?
Why am I patient with you?
I'm trying to gotta get into the Alice's mindset here, because Michaela would not be patient with a fool. Okay, that's not true. Well, Penny, I think that it's well worth the time to see what it is that you come up with at the end of all your contemplations and your run-ins around. I think you always come to a very interesting conclusion, and I'm just waiting on that.
Very cool. And then to
Kova.
Thank you. To Kova.
Mhm.
Kova, I have a question for you. And you may not like it because it's going to bring up some reminders. But what do I say that you've just gotten so tired of lately?
You're snoring, which is a problem we both have. I think I'm worse, though. I'm pretty sure I'm worse.
You're snoring.
It's very easy to hear with these very large ears. And while I appreciate that you are getting the rest you so desperately need, I do wish it would not come at the cost of my own.
Well,
Case in point, Kova absolutely also snores and probably louder.
Kova,
Doesn't
why
know it,
didn't
though.
you say something sooner? I've got beeswax right here. You
There
could
it is.
just ball that right up and just go ahead and tuck it in there. Don't go too far. I don't want you to be hurting your eardrums now.
I
It's
mean-
certainly worth a try.
I could do this instead at night. And she pulls out one of those little like mouth twang harmonica, like wire a jaw harp. Thank you. And she's like, ding 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 ding. She like starts playing it.
It will not
Oh,
surprise, I think, anyone here that I own one of those.
Nice.
I
They
love
are-
that.
Really uncomfortable to play. They
bet
buzz
they
against
are.
your teeth the whole time. Oh, man.
Oh, that sounds like torture, actually.
They're fun, though. Doing, 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 doing. That's good. That's good. All right.
Oh,
Michaela, it's up to you.
okay. 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 My dear Kova, how did I help bring you back when you felt lost?
One time, I had wandered a bit too far into the woods. I felt literally lost, as well as afraid that I would lose you all more permanently. You sent one of your bumbles after me, following the trail of breadcrumbs falling out of my bag. Literal breadcrumbs. Who would have thought?
Well,
Somehow
honey,
you always know how to bring another one of your flock home.
we can't do it alone. We've got to have our flock. We've got to have our hive.
That would be true. That would be a hive.
We've got to have our hive.
All right.
Pinwheel, do you remember the last time you came through? And I can't remember what my task was, but I had to leave the bumbles with you. What on earth did you do that made me trust you with my herd?
Well, I mean, that's a big question. I
Yes, Pinwheel, what did you do?
I cannot quite recall what it was.
Well, I would say that, I mean, just look at Chunky's smile here. And walks over to Chunky and just gives Chunky a little pat on the noggin. I mean, have you ever seen a bumblebee smile quite like that? I mean, that was the look that she gave you just after I had interacted with her, and you told me, you said Pinwheel. Well, I'm sure that if one of my hive can trust you, then I can trust you too.
Oh, Penny, you're right. I do remember, and it just brings a little flea bite right in my butt that I ever forgot. I feel so bad that I forgot. I'm sorry. You're right, Penny.
Episode title contender there.
Yeah.
A flea bite in my butt.
Flea bite right in my butt. All right. Well, I'll have to write that down for later. And we have one last step before we talk about journeying tools and begin our actual journey in terms of our character creation step here. Some things you can always do. Your playbook lists some of these. The dancer can always dance idly, laugh and smile, leap on top of something, give a song to those around you, ask, "Will you dance with me?" and ask, "Do you want to be my friend?" and receive a token if they say yes.
Aw.
How about the fool?
I'm very curious.
Okay, can you say that again, Sky?
Mm-hmm.
Can you just like read the directions again?
You are given a list of some things you can always do.
Okay.
Like tasks you can revert to. I don't know what I'm doing right now, so I'm dancing idly.
Yes.
Okay.
These are your character's abilities. They are a jumping off point. They are not exclusive. This is not all your character can do. These are things that can always happen in a situation that the fool can do. It should be on the 4th page of your playbook.
Yes, I do see it. The token thing confused me, but now I see the token.
Mm-hmm. We're going to explain that right after this.
Okay. So my options are kind of fun. Meander around, give great advice, give terrible advice,
Okay.
do something that's actually pretty funny.
It's actually pretty funny.
I enjoy the word actually there.
Actually pretty funny. Ask, but why? And then ask, what's going on?
Oh,
And
boy.
Real life Michaela hates Pinwheel.
As it will be beneficial to all of you, I am going to be choosing ask, what's going on?
No, you don't have to choose.
Yeah. All of
I
these
don't.
are your choices.
Okay,
Anytime you
cool.
want.
I get it. I understand. Thank you.
These are like your optional idols, like your
Got it.
your defaults.
These are my character selection screen
Yes.
things that they
Yes.
do. Okay.
Mhm.
Yes.
Yeah. Uh-huh. You've already gone through the character creator, and now you're at your abilities. This is your list of things you can do.
Word.
Love it.
Cool. And how about you?
Alice can always pat a bumble on his head, stare off into the distance, make an offhand observation that turns out to be correct, rest your back against something and take a moment to breathe.
I feel like Pinwheel's going to be the receiving end of the one before that.
Mhm. That's
Gonna-
fun.
She's gonna fall off of that.
But why?
What's going on?
See, the thing is, 2 of us here have worked in education. I don't know about you, Michaela, but
Oh, my sister is an educator.
Yeah.
I'm here for it all the way.
we're all educators or educator adjacent here. We all know we can all name at least 3 children off the top of our head who are like Pinwheel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why?
Sorry.
Last 2 say they're friendly. Don't fret. and ask, "Can I teach you something someone once taught me?" And then get a token if they say yes and learn.
All right.
Very.
Before we begin, we have a handful of tools at our disposal.
Yes, please
They
go on.
are listed on page 11 of your PDF here, page 21 of the actual digital page. They are the journeying tools. This is in part to sort of build safety tools into the system and in part to drive the story forward. We can always ask any of the following things. Let's do this instead. Do we want to? Where to next? What do you think? Hold on. And no. So we can build off of what we have created, but if we are feeling uncomfortable with something that has been brought up, if we want to move away from it, we can nix it and move on. This is an inviting space. This is a productive and cozy and a warm place that we are trying to build and explore. And these are some of the tools we can use. The other one is the token system. This is the one game mechanic that exists here.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
You receive and spend tokens as a way to drive the story forward. When you receive a token, it is usually because you have done something that requires you to take a bit of a risk or to put yourself out there. All of us have the same list of things that we can get tokens for. This is in the Excel sheet template I sent everybody. It's also in the PDF, and you've printed it out. Very good. You get a token when you... I'm just going to read a few examples out loud because I want to get to the actual play for a bit. Where you describe a moment of beauty. Where you speak your true feelings about something. Where you leave an offering to the many small and forgotten gods, which can take any form that you can possibly imagine. Where you pause for a moment and get some rest. Things like this. You spend a token, generally to assist with something, to ease someone's pain, to keep them safe, to solve a problem or to understand a solution to a problem, to know something about where you are, to listen to the many small and forgotten gods, to give someone what they need to change or move on or let go or understand. Right? These are ways you spend a token. We all start with 0. So, and tokens don't have to carry on between sessions, but they can. And that is something that can be decided at the next session.
Okay.
Finally, we have a handful of questions that we are going to ask before our first place. Typically, we build places together. However, I have built our first location.
Thank you.
There
That
is
seems like a lot of decision making that I wasn't sure I was prepared for. So thank you. For that.
That's okay. The questions that we can ask before that are: what sort of place did we just travel from? We have 3 questions we answer together and 1 on our own. So what sort of place did we just travel from?
It was dark.
Dark in the sense of secluded? Dark in the sense of foreboding? In the sense of
Lonely?
literally dark? Like a cave?
I think
Yeah.
I was thinking literally dark.
Mhm.
Maybe a dark forest or a dark cave. Y'all take
Okay.
it from there. I don't know. That was just the
I like
first
it.
thing.
I like a dark, thick forest.
Mhm.
That will work with our first place. So,
Okay.
very good. Do we feel our journey has been long?
No, I think we've been in we've established that we've been in one another's company long enough to make any journey feel fairly light, unless something major has gone on.
Okay. I like that. Is there a place we hope to go? I think
That feels like
Kova.
a big question.
I think Kova feels like we've spent a very long time away from people, and is looking to get back to a lively place again. But there doesn't seem to be one on the horizon yet.
Okay.
I think
Okay.
Pinwheel feels apprehensive about Kova's wish to go to a lively place, but that might only be discernible through the tone with which they speak in responding to Kova about certain things, because they're not saying they're uncomfortable or apprehensive. I think they're, yeah, the tone they use is apprehensive.
Okay.
I think Alice is on this continuous journey, and she doesn't see an end in sight, but she also doesn't need one to be in sight. She's very comfortable with where she is in life.
Okay. Good. The final question. Told you this system hits deep, so brace yourselves for it. The final question you answer to yourself, and we will take a brief moment of silence for it. Where is your home? And we do not share this with each other. As you are finishing your answers, the last thing to know about this system is that it is not run with a GM by default, but it can be. I will be tonight's guide. But at any point, if we feel that we want to bring life or a voice to the Hæth of this place, the Hæth are the creatures that inhabit it, like the three of us. If we feel like we want to bring voice to their Hæth, to any Hæth that come up, and someone wants to take that voice, they can. We each have our own player characters, essentially, but we are not limited to those. Just because I am leading tonight does not mean that I would always lead a session of Wanderhome. And there are nights where we could have no leader and we can just come to the table together. But I do have a place for us to journey first. And it begins in the month of Tilsoil, in the season of Leap. The final frosts of the year have melted away. The weather has become warm. Not that we would have known it, because we have spent the last few days in a dark and very dense forest. It was quiet, I feel. Very, very much so, especially during the day. But as night came, the sounds of the insects buzzing, the light of the stars trying to pierce through the forest told us that we were getting close to a breakthrough, which we have found. We have been journeying for a few days on a road, a dirt road, that has become more and more upkept. And at the top of a hill, far away, I would think maybe Pinwheel would spot it first, is the roof of a stone tower. As you get closer and closer, you see that it is old and growing taller as it crests over the hill. And Pinwheel, in this moment, what do you notice?
We should go check it out right now. Do you see that up there in the distance? Oh my goodness.
It has been some time since we've seen buildings.
Well, but it's like a tower. I guess that's not too abnormal.
It
Well,
is.
It looks like there's a little paddock. I could probably keep the little bumbles in there while we check it out if you'd like. I haven't seen a tower. What's it been? It's been weeks, probably.
At least. And the weather is warming up a bit. It is a bright sunny day. I think finding out who lives there could be exciting, if anyone.
And if nobody lives there, then I think it's always a good idea to air out the place and let spring breathe a new life into it.
Sounds good. Let's journey on. We come to a tower. It is very tall. Who would be the tallest among us? Possibly me. Yeah. A caracal versus a
Versus
sheepdog?
a sheepdog? Yeah, probably.
Probably. Yeah.
Yeah.
Versus an opossum. Yeah, I think probably me, even next to Kova, who is fairly tall compared to the two of you. This tower towers over them. It is very old. There is moss in the stonework. It looks concerning. Like one could climb up this place and it would hold. But that it would be difficult. There are signs of life here. You mentioned a paddock. There's not only pasturing area, there is a shed in the back. Off the road, but easy enough to see. There's no fence. There's no voices other than our own and the buzzes of the herd behind us. But there is a sign that there is someone here. There is a light on.
Well, I'll gladly get the herd into the paddock if you wouldn't mind giving a knock on the door.
You want to do the honors?
Oh, I'll
Shut
do
up.
it.
Top Hat, you go take all the other bumbles in there. You make sure that little baby follows the rules.
And what does Top Hat do? Yeah, there we go.
Top Hat is the first one you see. So he's the front of the herd. He's gotta make sure everybody else gets in.
Got a little deeper buzz.
Oh, for sure. And he's just a little bit bigger, but not by much.
The ground shakes
built.
a little bit when he buzzes.
Yes. He's built. Yeah, he's a built bee.
Yeah.
Very good.
He's a tough guy.
Very good. All right. You knock at the door, Pinwheel?
Yeah.
Okay.
With
How do
my with my bindle. She holds the sack portion of her bindle in her hand, paw, and then she taps on the door with the stick portion.
Very good. There's a knock at the door. You wait a moment. You hear the of hooves on stonework floor, and the door opens with a and before you is a deer dressed in rags, barely held together, working clothes that show a working life long lived. He is old. He has his antlers growing back in from the shedding season. And he looks down at you and says, "Well, hello there, little one. Well, it looks like I have company. There's quite a few of you."
Well, hello. Well, I'm Pinwheel, and well, this is Kova, and then yep, that's Alice. We're just passing by. We were over in that big, dark, scary forest, and it was a little bit of a journey.
Yes,
we're-
it's a long way through that forest. You must have traveled for quite some time.
Oh, it wasn't too long, but it was. Yeah, I guess it was kind of. Alice, how long were we gone?
Oh, darling, it's not about how long we took to get through the forest. It's simply about how good of a time we had while we were in there.
Yeah, that's how long. And yeah, we're gonna be we're just gonna be asking if we could maybe come in and just rest for a little bit. Alice has her herd.
Oh, yes. Honey, don't worry. Don't fret. They are friendly, I promise. And if you'd like some beeswax for some fresh candles, I see that your lights are getting dim. I'd be happy to go ahead and have them whip some up for you.
Watch out for Spindle, though. The fur's a little bit spiky.
You see as the two of you are talking to him, you see this old weathered face grow a big grin and say, "Well, aren't you a lively bunch? Well, I'd be very glad to offer you a place to rest for a bit. Your beeswax offer actually is rather timely. I was running out of candle wax for the observatory at the top, but yes, I think I'll take you up on that offer, and I will give you a token for giving away something you hold dear. For our first token of the game.
I'm sorry, an observatory?
Yes, it's well, it's been a while since it's been in use, but yeah, if you wish to stay for a while, you can take a look up there. I would advise you to watch your step up the stairs, though. It is a rather rickety old building, it's like the one you see in front of you, but it's still nice. It's got some tricks up its sleeve still.
Did you hear that, Penny? You better be careful going up those stairs.
Oh, me? I'm always careful. She steps
I-
into the
I-
door and stumbles a little bit.
I know,
Oh,
good.
excuse me.
I know you are. I just wanted to make sure because I know sometimes you tend to zone off just a little bit when other people are talking. So I want to make sure.
Well, feel free, invite yourself in. I'll start some tea soon if anyone would care to take some. But your herd here seems like they could have already made good use of the pasture here. Feel free.
Oh yeah, they're
nice to
not
know.
shy. They are not a shy bunch.
I can see that. Is that one chewing the other one's ear?
Oh, honey, that's just the youngest. He is always up in everybody's business. I would say you should let him in the house, but you'll never get him to leave.
Oh well. I'll take that into consideration.
His name is James. If you ever want to go give him a talking to, I understand you are at full will. Sometimes he gets a little ornery.
Yeah, he's the one who did this to me. And you see, like, Kova's got just a little tiny nip out of one ear.
But
A darling, though, an absolute darling.
but why?
Well,
Why?
he's just a
Why did?
baby. He doesn't know.
Oh,
He's
okay.
learning.
I guess
He's
I
learning.
didn't remember that. Oh, that's okay.
Well, it'll probably happen again. Don't worry.
I suppose you could just make sure that, as you're approaching him next time, just hold out your hand right up to his face, and let's see if that helps.
Yeah, yes, that would be a lovely approach. I think I would love to see you try that sometime, Penny. Especially with that young Orner one who likes to bite when things are sticking out in his face.
Right.
As the two of you have been talking, your host has kind of dismissed himself, started some tea. Kova is just smiling and taking a look around as you're having your conversation, and time passes, and your host offers you each a cup of warm tea. It's okay. It's not the best, it's not the finest, but it will do, and it's warm. There is still a bit of chill to the air. It hasn't quite warmed itself up yet, but the sun is rising. It's getting higher in the sky, and your host says, "Well, I seem to have forgotten some of my manners at least. My name is Sorrel."
Sorrel, it's lovely to meet you.
Likewise. And he kind of offers his paw hoof, I guess. He has hands. It's like the deer from Adventure Time, but less creepy.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, and offers a hand / paw shake, and says, "Well, if you would like, I would love company and conversation, but you do seem to have a rambunctious little explorer here. Are you looking for a place to explore, young one?" he says to Pinwheel.
Pinwheel takes a cracker from the cracker bowl
Mm-hmm.
next to the tea and flips it like a coin into the air, and then grabs it midair with her tail and then
Nice.
eats it. And she looks at him and says, "Oh, well, I have somewhere to go. I've got somewhere that I'm, trying to get to, but I'm always happy to explore on the way with these folks."
Well, what if that is not the voice that Sorrel had? That was Kova. Well, if you're looking for some place to go, then perhaps something that could help you see far, far away would be helpful. There is a telescope up in the observatory. It doesn't only work at night.
I wondered what observatory meant. Well, Pinwheel, that sounds like fun.
I think she clearly clocks this. She hears what he's saying, and you see a change in her demeanor. Oh, oh. Well, yeah, I'd like to take a look. I can just go right up there and look through the telescope thingy.
Yes, yeah, any time you want.
Oh,
That'll
well,
be fine.
all right. Well, Alice, can I talk to you?
Oh, of course, darling. I actually needed to grab some of those beeswax candles from
Yes, yes.
Top Hat's saddlebag, so if you'd like to come with me out there, we can talk out there.
No worries, no worries. The place is yours. Make yourself at home.
Sorrel, you are truly a sweetheart.
Likewise, likewise. Thank you. He kind of gives a little bow to Alice. You watch as Kova leaps 3 stairs up at a time. You do hear a each time they leap up a little bit. And outside, it is a beautiful day. The wind is a slight chill. You see it rustling through the trees. You see it moving the grass around you.
As we make our way to the paddock, I think knowing that that clearly my young friend needs some support and a calm presence, I'm going to go ahead and pull out my pipe, and it's just got some bee grass in it, and
Bee grass?
bee grass, the equivalent of tobacco that I just made up.
I like it.
And
I like
it's she's gonna
Bee
go
grass
ahead.
kills. No,
Bee
it doesn't.
No,
This is a warm and
honey.
inviting place. Bee grass is safe.
It's a tradition, and it ought to be passed down. But now it needs to be used responsibly. Okay.
It does.
I am gonna go ahead and let that sweet smell kind of envelop us as we make our way to the paddock, so that hopefully young Pinwheel feels a little more comfortable.
So I have something to show you. I haven't showed this to anybody in our group yet. Yeah. Well, okay, she opens her bindle, her sack on her bindle, and she rifles through a complete mess of
There's just like a trumpet in there.
there's yeah.
Bouncy balls.
We're
Like-
talking like a My Father's Dragon level of random assortment of items.
It's-
Stuffed in a bindle.
Yeah, all random, completely unorganized, disorganized. There's
Oh, I like that rock.
Oh, you want it? Here you go. She tosses
yes, I
it back.
do.
Oh yeah, of course. She pulls out a tiny little box. And there's like a little latch on the box. She undoes the latch, flips it open, pulls out a piece of paper, and unfolds the paper so that it's about this big from eye to eye, I guess. And she holds it up to you. She says, "Do you see that? That triangle?"
Yeah, I do. What's that about?
Well, that's where I need to go.
Oh.
Yeah, you see, I'm trying to find somebody. And well, I was told that this triangle is a mountain. And do you see how it has these little, like, jagged edges on the side of it?
Sure.
Well, yeah, I'm looking for a mountain that's got jagged edges like that. Maybe that telescope thingy can help us find it.
I think that's a genius idea. So it's, where'd you find it? Can I ask? First of all, you do not have to share with me. Where did you get this information? Is it a reputable source?
Well, she opens up a locket that she's wearing. And she folds the paper up along the creases. And she she folds the paper up along the creases until it's as small as it can get. And you see that with the creases, the way that it folds, it fits perfectly inside of the locket. And she says, "I keep them separate, well, because I lose things a lot, and if I lost the locket, well, I would lose the paper, and I know I'm pretty good about not losing things in my bindle sack, so, yeah, it's from a reputable,
Nice. You did it.
I did it. Reputable source, I believe, is how you would say that. Yep.
Well, good. I trust you then. I am absolutely here to help you in any way I can, Penny. Let's go up to that
Observatorium.
Yes, that with the telescope, and let's see if we can find your mountain. But you got to carry some of these candles because I'm giving them as many as we have so many candles. We got to get rid of some of these.
She pockets a candle into her sack.
Alice absolutely notices and does nothing about it.
Where'd Kova go?
Let's go
Kova!
back in and find her.
I think I'd like to
Find 'em.
give Pinwheel a token for her vulnerability in this moment.
Thank you.
Thank you for
And-
sharing.
Thank you.
And I think that is a good opportunity for you to have spent a token to help to connect with someone on a personal level.
Yeah.
There for Alice. So feel free to keep track of your tokens and
You got it.
Thank
go
you.
back inside. And Sorrel, overhearing you say, "Where'd Kova go?" Says, "Oh, is Kova the one with the big sunset robes and everything?"
That's
Yeah,
them.
the large robes. Yes, that's what they're known for.
Yes, they leapt right up my stairs. I've never seen something like it before. I think they're probably as far up as they can get. If the fact that they got the real rickety one right at the top, that sounds like it. So I suspect they're up there.
Well, that's delightful. I'll go ahead and put these candles out. Pinwheel, if you'd like to go up and see Kova, I'm just going to be down here distributing these, and I'll be right up.
Oh yeah, I'll gladly take those. Just be careful on your way up there, youngin.
She is not going to be careful.
Kova! Kova! Kova!
Your voice echoes up the stairway. It is a long spiral staircase. It's wooden. It is built into stone sides. This work is old. It is weathered. It has been here a very long time.
And she's still standing.
And she's still standing. Yeah, tall and proud. A little bit crooked.
It's like Pinwheel standing, just
your-
barely.
Somehow, who knows how, but your voice echoes up through and you kind of hear it echo back to you, and then a pause and yes real
Kova!
quiet.
Why are you up there?
I was looking at something. You should come take a look.
Okay, I'll be up in a moment. She starts
Oh.
climbing.
Slowly follow behind.
Each step feels like it will hold. Probably. And it does.
Nice.
You make it to the top. You feel... Are either of you worried about this moment? About its feeling? About the structure? If you are, if you feel like your character is, or gets disoriented by it, take a token. Feel free. If not, you make it all the way up. Slowly, if you were a little dizzy, if you were a little worried. But you make it all the way up, and it is beautiful. You can see the forest that you just came from off to the right-hand side as you exit. It is dense. The trees are swaying gently in the breeze. Before you, you see, you hadn't noticed it yet, but up a little bit more, a little higher, over the crest of a hill, is a wide river that flows to the north, to the west. You look towards the west, nothing but plains, meadows, untilled fields with only the gentlest of hills and the tallest of grass. You see Kova, the sun gleaming off of their orange sunset robes, looking through the telescope their tail swishing back and forth. As they're looking out at the river, and they say, it's really quite gorgeous the way that the sun reflects off of the surface of the water. Not something you can really appreciate unless you're right there with it. Hurts your eyes a little bit, but just over the riverbank, looks like there's another road and a bridge. We could go there if you want. Do you want to take a look? And Kova will take a token for describing the environment.
Oh, I'll take a look. Yeah. Listen, Kova.
Yes.
Well, I'm looking for something. I just spoke with Alice about it, and I'm wondering if you see any mountains.
Mountains. They look north. That's the direction to part of the river that they were looking at, and the bridge. No, not there. Looks east. We just came from there. Looks west. Keeps looking west. Way far away. Do you know how, when you are just beginning to see a mountain, and it's very, very far, it almost blends in with the sky?
Not really.
Well, come and take a look. You'll see just that.
Right. And so she'll step up and begin looking, and
What does Pinwheel notice?
so she looks out, and when you described this, was this the direction where there were plains?
Yes, way far over, way in the distance. You almost don't see it at first, but it's there.
So yeah, she looks out over the plains, looks out, maybe begins to see a few birds flying overhead, and after she kind of follows the trail of the birds flying through the sky, she notices kind of a dark shadow on the edge of the horizon, and realizes that it's not a shadow, it's a structure, not a man-made, not a created structure. She notices a large, tall mountain, and so I think I see it. It's really hard for me to know if that's where I'm supposed to go, but I guess I don't have any other leads.
Well, it is far away. It would be a long journey, but... Well, we've been on long journeys already.
We'll probably run into some cities on the way, too.
I guess so.
It is a bit hard to see to the south. And to the south, you notice that there is a wall. You can't use the telescope to look that way. There's a window, and you see more of the forest, but not as thick. Around the window, you do notice many books, floor to ceiling. You are under a dome where the roof is above you. There's a tile missing from the roof. You don't find it if you look. It's long since left it. But there are many books, weathered, old leather-bound books. No titles, really. Just volumes and volumes that, well, you don't know what they contain yet. But they're there, and that is what is to the south.
Knowledge.
Kova spins around in a single twirl, leans backwards against one of the stone pillars, holding up the roof. There's a little crumble. Maybe you might have thought you heard it. Don't know.
Well, you said there's windows in here?
There's one. There is one window to the back in the wall surrounded by books. The rest of it is open. You are on a rooftop, essentially, a rooftop observatory, but with a real rooftop above it. Think kind of like the way a gazebo is built.
Open I got you. Okay.
Yeah. Not closed to the elements. The bookcase it has glass covering it so that it does not get rained on.
Well, I think what would suit my fancy at this moment in time is I'm going to light up my pipe, and then I'm going to go ahead and peruse the titles here, see if I can find an atlas, perhaps, of Hæth, and see if perhaps I could identify any mountains there. I'm looking for triangles. I'm no cartographer, but I can try my best.
All right. You look through the volumes. What do you find along your way to an atlas?
I think this is clearly a very old tower. I think it would be probably somewhere along here we'd find a journal of observations made by previous tenants of this tower, and I like to think maybe there's a charts of seasonal stars and constellations, and perhaps an almanac or two.
Mm-hmm. You do see these things, and you notice something in the margins. You notice drawings in the margins that aren't a part of the book. They are childish, crude. As you flip through one of the almanacs, it looks like a young child has drawn some flowers, some plants, some insects, a deer.
Well, that's very sweet. I think I'd like to flip through. I'm going to take this almanac, find a nice spot, if that's curled up against the wall or if there's chairs up here or something. And I think I'm going to flip through that almanac and just really appreciate all those little drawings in there, smoking my pipe.
Take a token for a moment of rest, a moment to marvel something that no one's seen before. I did ask you to do it, so
that does seem fair.
One of those. Kova will do the same, taking a token for a moment of rest, and they will perch themselves laid flat on the stonework edge of the tower, the roof to their right side, a vertical drop to the ground on their left, in a high place, as cats are wont to do at times, and will lean back, their hands behind their head, tail swishing back and forth on the inside, and take a little cat nap.
A moment of repose.
And what does Pinwheel do in this time?
I think she is looking through the books. She's not being she'll grab one.
Okay.
She'll look at the title. She'll just drop it. She'll grab another. Look at the title. Drop it. Climb up a little bit. Grab another. Look at the title. Okay. Kind of
Does
like...
Pinwheel read? This is a good question.
No.
I genuinely have been in the dark on it. I have not assumed either way.
I don't think Pinwheel does.
Same.
Yeah, I don't
Okay.
think Pinwheel does.
Okay. What about this book stands out to her that the others didn't have?
Yeah, the cover of the book has a large scenic drawing. So the cover is, it's like that gold leaf, but that gold leaf is like fashioned into a scene of a sunset with a couple trees. And so she takes a look at it and kind of puts it under her arm, and then she climbs up another book, drops it, drops it, drops it, climbs up another, grabs one, takes this one, stuffs it under her arm, and then like climbs down. Then she grabs each of the books, and I think she opens them at the same time, and she flips each page at the same time from each book. So she's looking through the different pages. And she says, "What is going on with all of these drawings?"
As you say that, you are made aware now of the presence of Sorrel as he stands beside you and says, "Oh, good choices. Oh, this one over here, this one came with the building. It's the first one that you took. The drawings are gorgeous. They are wood carved, like wood block prints that have been hand inked. Beyond that, it's a kind of chronicle of the landscapes around here. It's a book of art.
Oh,
Do you like the paintings in this one?"
I do. I mean, if I'm being honest, I'm looking for some mountains. I'm trying to find if there's any mountains that way, and she points.
Well, I don't know that you would find those mountains in that book, but if you flip towards the end of that first one there, you'll see a few.
So she does so. "Oh, thank you. I appreciate your help. Sorrel. Sorrel. Thank you, Sorrel. That's very nice of you."
You're most kind. Do you like this second one too?
Oh, I do. I'm just looking for some mountains.
You see a mountain on like maybe the third page, but it's in the background of a drawing. It is a colorful and bright drawing. It's a book that's a children's story. You see a mouse prince holding a sword, a mouse princess holding a sword. They're fighting. It looks like the princess is winning. There's mountains in the background. This was this was one of my kids' favorite, actually. It's a good one.
Oh, you have children?
I do. They're off living their own lives, but they're they're all grown now. This was one of theirs. One of the ones I used to read to them. It's The Brave Princess.
Brave princess.
Yeah.
Something about how they say that is different.
I like it.
Sorrel, pardon me, I didn't mean to eavesdrop. I did,
Oh,
but
no.
did,
No eaves
said-
to drop under here. Feel free.
that was clever. You said your kids lived here. Did they like to read this one? Or are these their lovely little artworks here in the margins? I'm just living for these.
Yeah. That one was Molly. She was my little artist.
Oh, I love these little drawings. Did you want to look at these, Penny? I know they're not relevant to your research here, but I thought maybe you'd like to look at them. They're very sweet.
Oh, I
I'm
would.
going to subtly change out my book to show her the drawings and take the one that Sorrel had mentioned. There would be some information on the mountains on.
Mm-hmm.
And I would like to spend a token to find what someone needs to give them, I guess, a chance to change fundamentally.
Okay. You're
Like a
looking
help
through.
token. I want to see if I can find information on these mountains that she was looking at the pictures of.
You do. You can read, probably.
I can. Yes. My mother
And
taught us all of us babies, taught us all, the whole litter, how to read from puppydom.
sounds good. I like it. You do read that these are the Painted Mountains. The Painted Mountains are a range that is far away from this place, but that is in this region of the Hæth. They are large. They are difficult to cross, but there are paths and there are settlements and towns that could make one's journey more comfortable. They get their name from the way that they reflect the light off the many different types of rock. As the sun sets, they are gorgeous. They look like a painter has taken a palette of warm and cool colors and smeared them across the mountain.
The
Kind of like
purples,
Bob
the
Ross with a painter's
reds,
knife.
the greens, the browns. Even the browns are beautiful. You know, that takes skill. Well, I think that it would be I think it would be lovely if we went to these mountains here, the Painted Mountains, and discovered what it is that our young friend is looking for. But even if we don't, I think that the bees and us are in for just a lovely view, and there's nobody I'd rather see it with if y'all would like to go there.
The painted mountains.
That's why they're so gorgeous. Well, they're called that because they're so gorgeous. That's what I read here. And I'll show her the picture of the mountains.
Oh well. Thank you, and Sorrel, thank you. The Painted Mountains. Well, I think that's where I would like to go, but it doesn't need to happen right now. I mean, we can, if we have other places to go too, we can go to other places too. I would like to go there at some point.
Well, it's up to Kova. Kova, wake up, Kova. Hello, good morning. I'm sorry to interrupt your nap. Are
It
you
looks like
interested?
noon.
Yes, it's only
I
been
was not
about
asleep
20
very long,
minutes.
was I?
No, it's only been about 20 minutes, honey. You can go right back to bed. I just wanted
well.
to make sure it was okay with you. I think
Big
Pinwheel
kitty
and
cat
I.
stretch.
Oh, that looks so nice. I wish I could stretch like that. It's just between my shoulders.
Yeah, there are ligaments that just don't move like yours do in their body. In that way
Cats are
that
liquid.
felines, in that way that cats are liquid. Kova just transforms into a fluid state for a moment.
Sinewy thing.
Yes. They are still, by the way, perched on top of that railing, or
Oh, no
laying on
doubt in
top
my
of that
mind.
railing. Continue.
On 2 feet somehow. Never figured out how they do that. Yes, would you like to go to the Painted Mountains? Now, it is a group decision. The bees and I, we can go anywhere. You know, I'm just along for the ride. For the time being, anyhow.
Tari Mazaratha. Painted Mountains. It has a nice ring to it, doesn't it?
It's going to be so gorgeous.
Sounds like an adventure. When do we begin?
Well, I figure we could start in the morning. Give ourselves a nice, lovely day here with Sorrel.
If that is okay with you, Sorrel. Oh well, yeah. You're welcome to spend the night. It's it's nice to have people here again.
Well, we'd love to hear your stories.
I have many to tell, but I think we'll save those for the night. Save those for another time. Believe a little bit of lunch is in order, and I think that's where we're going to call it for this evening, as tonight's journey comes to a close. Thinking of where we've been, of where we're going to, and where we are. So, thank you for coming along this journey with us all. Hope that you have a wonderful night. I hope that you have had a wonderful time, and we will see you for the next part of it.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Have a good night, everyone.
Yes.
Good night, everybody. Thank you, Sky.
Thank you.